My adoptive parents abused me.
Naomi was 7 years old when the Hendersons brought her home. She remembered that day, the way Mrs. Henderson's smile seemed painted on, the way Mr. Henderson's handshake felt more like a business transaction than a welcome. But Naomi was just grateful to have a room with a door that closed, a bed that didn't creak with the weight of 3 other kids, and the promise of something called forever. The first few months were a performance. The Hendersons paraded Naomi at church functions, posted photos on social media with captions about opening their hearts and making a difference. But behind closed doors, the script changed. It started with small things. Mrs. Henderson would scrub her hands harder than necessary, muttering about dirt under her breath. Mr. Henderson would introduce her as the girl we took in, never our daughter. At family dinners, Naomi ate in the kitchen while their biological children, Blake and Madison, sat at the mahogany table in the dining room. When guests came over, she was told to stay upstairs. "It's easier this way," Mrs. Henderson would say, her voice flat and final. By the time Naomi was 10, she'd learned to make herself invisible. She perfected the art of silence, of taking up as little space as possible, of swallowing every hurt until it became a stone in her chest. One winter evening, everything shattered. Naomi had won an award at school, first place in the district writing competition. Her teacher, Mr. Patterson, had tears in his eyes when he handed her the certificate. "Naomi, this is extraordinary," he'd said. "You have a gift." She ran home, certificate clutched in her hands, her heart hammering with something dangerous, hope. Mr. Henderson was in the garage. Naomi approached carefully. "Dad, I won something today." Mr. Henderson didn't look up from his workbench. "That's nice." "It's a writing competition. I wrote about—" "Naomi, I'm busy." "But I thought maybe you could come to the awards ceremony? It's Thursday night, and—" Mr. Henderson finally turned, his face cold. "Do you know how much we've sacrificed for you? Do you have any idea what it costs to keep you here? And now you want us to waste our evening watching you collect some participation trophy?" The words hit like fists, but it was what came next that broke something irreparable. "We gave you a chance most kids like you never get. The least you can do is be grateful instead of always asking for more. Kids like you." Naomi stood there, frozen, the certificate crumpling in her trembling hands. Mrs. Henderson appeared in the doorway. She'd heard everything. For a moment, Naomi thought she might say something, might defend her. Instead, she sighed. "Naomi, go to your room." That night, curled up under her blanket, Naomi made a decision. She would survive this, and one day she would leave. Mr. Patterson noticed the change. Naomi had stopped raising her hand, stopped turning in her stories. When he pulled her aside after class, she finally broke. The words poured out, years of isolation, of casual cruelty, of being treated like a burden rather than a daughter. Mr. Patterson listened, his hand on her shoulder, and then he did something Naomi never expected. He believed her. Within weeks, a social worker named Christina was assigned to Naomi's case. The investigation was quiet but thorough. The Hendersons were furious, indignant, claiming they'd given her everything. But the evidence was there, in Naomi's own words, in the testimony of neighbors who'd noticed, in the documentation of differential treatment. At 12 years old, Naomi was removed from the Henderson home. Her new foster mother was named Ruth, a retired teacher with silver hair and hands that had held hundreds of children's tears. She didn't make promises about forever. She simply said, "You're safe now, and you matter." It took months for Naomi to believe her. She tested her patience, waited for the other shoe to drop, for the kindness to reveal itself as another performance. But Ruth was steady. She showed up. She listened. She treated her like she mattered, not because of what she could do for her image, but because she simply existed. Slowly, Naomi began to write again. Her story, the real one, poured onto pages. The pain, yes, but also the resilience. The loneliness, but also the moments of grace. Mr. Patterson helped her polish it, and when she was 16, it was published in a national youth anthology. The dedication read, "For every kid still waiting to be seen, you are not invisible, you are not a burden, you are enough." Years later, Naomi would become a social worker herself, specializing in adoption support and foster care advocacy. She'd help rewrite policies, train families, and speak truth to systems that had failed kids like her. And sometimes, late at night, Naomi would think about the Hendersons. Not with hatred, she'd worked too hard to carry that weight, but with something like pity. They'd had a chance to love someone extraordinary, and they'd chosen fear and prejudice instead. But Naomi chose something different. She chose to transform her pain into purpose, her isolation into connection, her silence into a voice that would speak for those still waiting to be heard. Because that's what survivors do. They don't just endure, they rise.